Hey guys, my name's Jesse, your J-Game, and today we're going to be talking about Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and how they're setting up Green Goblin and Red Goblin for Marvel's Spider-Man 3. Now, in my last video, we talked about Venom's identity, where I think we might be getting two Venoms, or even more than two Venoms, so it will be playing a part where Venom goes on one host, and then he goes on another, and then he goes on another. Multiple hosts, so you won't actually have one Venom. It's going to be multiple people being Venom. And in my theory, I think it might be Harry Osborn, and a lot of people also have a theory that it will be Norman Osborn. And it's cool if we do get Venom as Norman Osborn, but he's always been Green Goblin, so I'm really hoping they adapt the story where the symbiote goes on the Green Goblin and uses the serum to turn him into Red Goblin. You know, instead of messing with classic Venom stories where, you know, Venom's always been Eddie Brock, but in this one we don't know who he is, so it just makes sense for Marvel Spider-Man 2 to adapt Red Goblin because they already introduced the symbiote in the second game. It's going to have a significant role. It's going to be on Peter Parker. It's already going to combine and mesh with his suit and everything, so, you know, Venom's already going to be a thing with the spider on his chest, so that is already set and done. It's already in motion. So now when we have Norman Osborn in the picture, already working with the symbiote, there's so much potential there, man. We can get Red Goblin. If you don't know what that is, Red Goblin is a villain where he gets the Carnage symbiote and ends up merging with that Carnage symbiote, becoming the Red Goblin because he's already Green Goblin. And that would be a crazy storyline to adapt into the third game. You already got Norman Osborn and Dr. Connors working on the original Black symbiote, which is Venom, but what if there's another symbiote that we don't know about in that lab? There's so much in that lab. Literally, there's a container with Harry Osborn in that container. So what's to say there aren't different other things in the other containers around the lab? So what I'm hoping for is that Norman Osborn ends up having Harry bedridden because of using that Venom symbiote on Harry to try and cure him, but it ends up not working. It either has him bedridden or it ends up dying at the end of the game. And you know, that affects Peter, Norman, everyone that related to Harry Osborn, Mary Jane, all that. So it'd be cool to see if he dies or he gets bedridden, but that makes Norman Osborn get this revenge story arc that he wants to do. Norman ends up wanting revenge on Spider-Man Peter Parker because he ended up defeating Venom, which was his son. So what better revenge than to use the symbiote that he had already, or maybe a little piece that ends up escaping or something. He ends up using that piece of symbiote. Boom, we notice it's the Carnage symbiote, and at the end credit of Marvel Spider-Man 2, we will see Norman Osborn combining with that symbiote, getting ready for the next game, or messing around with his Goblin serum, and also having the symbiote on the side of that Goblin serum, showing both things like, oh, maybe these two things can combine together. That would be a cool storyline to see. Now, in Marvel Spider-Man 3, I want to make sure that the symbiote isn't a prime focus of the game, so hopefully if they do introduce it at the end of Marvel Spider-Man 2 and you see the Carnage symbiote in the third game, where in the third game I hope that you still see the Carnage symbiote not attached to Norman Osborn yet, but throughout the game he's like debating on, oh, should I attach this onto me or not? And then towards the third act of the game or the end boss battle of the game, we get to fight Red Goblin. That'd be so cool if the story for Marvel Spider-Man 3 was to defeat different goblins throughout the game. So first you start with Green Goblin, which is Norman Osborn, then you go for a Hobgoblin, which is someone that was working in Oscorp, and Norman sends them out to do his bidding, and then at the end, Norman is like, okay, I've sent all the goblins I can, let's try and do this Red Goblin thing, puts a symbiote on him, and then he becomes Red Goblin. That is my wish for Marvel Spider-Man 3, so we'll see how Marvel Spider-Man 2 plays out, and we'll see how that leads in for the next game. I'm hoping we get to see Marvel Spider-Man 3 be what Arkham City is. You know, I really want to see a very Spider-Man centric story with his main villain being the Green Goblin. At the end of the day, they're really good, and I'm really hoping Marvel Spider-Man 3 become the Arkham City of the Spider-Man games. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you never miss out on any Marvel Spider-Man 2 videos that I make, because I make a bunch of them. You guys can check the end screens here and check out my other videos that we made for Marvel Spider-Man 2, and let me know if you want to see Red Goblin come to Marvel Spider-Man 3 in the coming years for the next game. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next Marvel Spider-Man 2 video. Peace out.